Your grandmother wasn't crazy. Every time she rubbed her knee and said storm's coming, she was reading a barometric pressure change that doctors ignored for over a century. And new imaging studies are finally proving her right. Right now, if your knees have been aching more than usual, there's a very specific, measurable thing happening inside your joint. It's not just getting older. It's not in your head. A slightly tilted shot of the woman's knee with a subtle glowing cross-section overlay revealing internal joint structures. The tilt adds tension and visual intrigue. In this video, we're breaking down exactly why cold weather turns up the volume on joint pain, including the one specific temperature drop where pain complaints spike almost overnight. A fluid inside your knee that literally changes texture like cooking oil in a fridge. And a 2-minute habit you can start tonight that cuts winter flare-ups without a single pill. We'll also get into something most doctors won't tell you in a 7-minute appointment, because it involves admitting the medical field debated this for 150 years and only recently changed its mind. A 2019 study out of Tokyo tracked over 24,000 patients against real-time weather data and found something that finally settled the argument. We'll get into those exact numbers in a minute, but first, you need to understand what's actually happening inside your knee joint when the temperature drops. Why does pain seem to arrive before the storm even hits, sometimes a full day early? Picture a bag of chips on an airplane. As the plane climbs and outside air pressure drops, the bag puffs up like a balloon. The air trapped inside expands because there's less pressure pushing in from outside. Your knee joint has its own sealed little environment, a capsule filled with synovial fluid and gas, cushioned by cartilage and surrounded by nerve-dense tissue. When barometric pressure drops before a storm, which it does reliably, the tissues around your joint behave a little like that chip bag. They expand, ever so slightly. And because your joint capsule is already inflamed or worn down from arthritis, that tiny expansion pushes against nerve endings that are already irritated. This is why weather apps that show barometric pressure trends can actually double as a pain prediction tool. Some arthritis patients now check pressure forecasts the way others check pollen counts, so they can pre-medicate or adjust activity a day ahead of a flare. But pressure is only half the story. The other half is about what's actually inside your joint and how cold changes its chemistry. Why does your knee feel stiffer for longer in winter, even after you've been up and moving for 20 minutes? Think about olive oil in your fridge. At room temperature, it pours smoothly. Chilled, it turns thick and cloudy, almost gel-like. Your synovial fluid, the natural lubricant inside every joint, behaves the same way. It's built to flow easily at your body's core temperature. But your knees and hands are further from your core, so their surface temperature drops faster in cold weather, and that fluid thickens. Thicker fluid means more friction between cartilage surfaces. More friction means your joint has to work harder to move, which your brain interprets as stiffness and pain, especially in the first painful steps out of bed. This is exactly why a hot shower or a heating pad on the joint, not just getting moving, makes such a fast difference in winter. You're not just relaxing muscles. You're literally re-thinning the fluid your joint depends on to glide. So pressure changes irritate the joint, and cold thickens the fluid inside it. But there's a third factor almost nobody talks about, and it has nothing to do with weather at all. Here's an uncomfortable question. What if winter joint pain isn't actually about the cold? What if it's about what the cold makes you do? In 2019, researchers at the University of Tokyo tracked over 24,000 people with knee osteoarthritis against hourly local weather data. The surprising finding wasn't that cold caused massive pain spikes on its own, It was that pain correlated strongly with lower activity levels during cold, low-pressure days. People moved less. They sat more. Muscles supporting the joint weakened within days, and that lack of support amplified every other factor we just covered.
Translation? Winter creates a trap. Cold weather makes joints more sensitive. Sensitivity makes you move less. Moving less weakens the muscles protecting the joint. Weaker support makes the joint even more sensitive. It's a loop, and most people accidentally feed it every single winter. The fix isn't push through the pain. It's short, frequent, low-impact movement, even just 5 minutes of walking indoors every few hours to keep that support loop from collapsing. So now you know the 3 real forces behind winter knee pain. But here's where it gets uncomfortable, because one of these harmless coping habits people rely on all winter might actually be making things worse long-term. Here's the part that might upset you. Over-relying on heat and rest without ever reintroducing strength work doesn't just fail to fix the problem, it accelerates it. When people stay in that movement trap for multiple winters in a row, studies on joint disuse show measurable cartilage thinning and muscle atrophy around the knee that doesn't fully reverse when spring comes. Some people effectively age their knees by years over a handful of cold seasons, not because of the cold itself, but because of what they stopped doing in response to it. Click on this video right here, where we break down the 5 warning signs that your joint pain isn't arthritis, it's something else entirely. Search traffic for glucosamine and joint supplements spikes every single winter, not because the products suddenly work better, but because fear and discomfort make people more willing to buy something, anything, that promises relief. Most of these supplements have weak or mixed clinical evidence. The pressure fluid movement cycle we just walked through explains most winter pain far better than your cartilage is deficient in glucosamine. This matters because the real fix costs nothing and takes 2 minutes. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Tonight, before bed, spend 2 minutes doing slow, controlled knee bends, seated. No weight, just full range of motion, followed by a warm towel or heating pad on the joint for 5 minutes. This directly counters all 3 mechanisms we covered. It keeps synovial fluid moving, maintains the muscle support loop, and reduces the stiffness spike you'd otherwise wake up to. Do that every night this week, and pay attention to your first 10 steps out of bed. That's your test. Now that you know why your knees flare up in the cold, there's a bigger question waiting, because some joint pain has nothing to do with weather at all, and mistaking one for the other can delay a diagnosis that actually matters. Click on this video right here, where we break down the 5 warning signs that your joint pain isn't arthritis. It's something else entirely.